What is going on, everybody? David Braga back for another episode of the Unnamed podcast. Today we are talking UNLV recap and looking ahead to the Baylor Bears and that dynamic rushing attack. I am joined once again by Tom Manning's burner. TMB, you called a hell of a game on Saturday. How'd you do it?
UNLV is not good. Uh, um,
Fair enough.
we did what we were good at. Ran well, used play action a lot, rolled out with Purdy, let him at least throw on the run a little more, which we talked about, which you need to do. Touchdown to Hutchinson and then
Oh
zone and
man, that was
do more play action.
pretty.
It was. It was
That was
very
so
pretty.
nice. If
The
I could
teamwork
show
there.
it without fear of getting this video taken down, I would do that. Because
Yeah.
that was you know what it reminded me of? It
Reminded me of Hakeem Butler.
yeah, the Hakeem Butler touchdown against Oklahoma State.
Yeah, for
It,
sure.
it wasn't it wasn't exactly the same because it looked like it was a little bit more of a designed rollout and
Yep.
more of a designed throw to the side of the end zone. But
Yep.
it did that was the first thing I thought of was when I saw that highlight. I was like, hey,
Yeah.
that's Hakeem Butler right there.
He put it right on the money both times.
Right on the money. Brees Hall finally hit the 100-yard mark.
Yep.
Got him going a little bit more. After rushing, I saw this. He rushed for 69 yards the first 2 weeks
Yeah, he
in
did.
both games. So it wasn't like obviously that's a pretty nice start, but
Yeah. Was not.
definitely,
I did expect a little more, but that's
yeah,
okay. We're
yeah.
gonna back on track.
He also tied the Big 12 consecutive games with a rushing touchdown record.
Yes, and I see that to continue being a record going forward.
We would like to see that just be him at the top.
Yes,
It's
that would.
what's his name? Corbin something from Mizzou. He was like the quarterback in
Yeah,
the 90s.
yeah. I can't remember his name.
Corbin something.
Uh, yeah,
But
yep,
yeah, I think they're both at 15 now, right?
yes. 15
Yeah.
straight.
So looking to make that all by his lonesome next
Yes,
week or this coming weekend against Baylor.
I believe he had three last year against Baylor, two rushing,
I
one
think so.
receiving, something like that.
Something like
So,
that. But yeah, I mean this was what we'd been expecting of the offense. It wasn't
yep.
exactly the best start, right? They had 7 points in the first quarter,
No, yeah,
but
yep,
we got into that rhythm. The first drive in particular was a lot of just chewing the clock. I think that
yeah.
first drive was like 7.5 or 8 minutes,
Which is exactly what we wanted to do.
which was just what we did against Oregon in the Fiesta
Yep,
Bowl. So that was very quintessential what Matt Campbell wants to do.
yep.
And then it was just kind of like, oh, we can steamroll UNLV. Let's just do that.
Yep. We
Wait,
just, I don't know the last time you could say Iowa State just straight out talented someone.
yeah, I guess it would be, well, I don't know, maybe Kansas State
Yeah,
last year. But I mean, even then, we
that
just
was COVID and
completely outplayed them, and it was a COVID
yeah,
year, and it was just kind of a weird thing. So I talked about this with a couple friends of mine. Was I would say that excluding that Kansas State game because there were a lot of variables that went into that. This would be right up there with Kansas in 2017 when we beat them like 45-0,
yep,
and then the Louisiana Monroe game, the Real
yes,
Mitchell game. But then even
yes,
that game we gave up 20 points.
yeah.
So
I mean,
it's right up there with those to me, and it was just really nice to see.
it was. It's nice to get a non-nail biter for once.
Yeah, and like we mentioned, Hutchinson had a massive game,
Yeah, like 10 catches, 130 something yards, and two
two
touchdowns, I think.
scores. I mean, he
Yeah,
was he was all over the field. Kohler had a
Fuller got
nice
one,
Kohler had a nice one up the seam. That
which I don't know
33.
how you leave Kohler wide open, but
Apparently you do that.
yeah,
Sean Shaw got in the stat sheet, my
yep,
man. Sean
yep. I
Shaw
was
had a
fan.
15-yard grab. I was
Yep,
listening to it on the radio because I was at work, and John Walters, the Godfather, made a very excellent point of just all the teammates were super happy for Sean to see him back
yeah,
healthy, and
yep,
how they were congratulating him on the sideline. And, I mean, that's been my guy. So
They did.
good
I've
to
loved him forever.
good to see him
They did the
back.
same thing for Deion Silas after he
Dude,
scored.
oh, I was so upset when they took away the first rush and they put him
I
down at the
thought he was
one.
in.
I was so sad. I
Yeah,
was
that
like,
sucks.
it's like, man, come on, give it to him. And then
Yeah,
he punched it in anyway.
he
So
got it in.
that was good to see. Defense looked unstoppable again. I mean,
Yeah,
we would
I don't.
expect that for
Yep,
UNLV. But it was good to know that they didn't let up on anything.
yep. Will
Ishim
McDonald
Young,
got held every play.
Ishim
Every
Young
play.
got his pick.
Yep,
He's a week late, but he got there.
yep.
Um,
We forced a turnover that, like you were saying, so
yeah,
that's good. Need more
yeah.
of those.
That's all we said in the preview. Force a turnover.
Yep.
Just get one.
Yep.
Just get one. And he was able to, and like you said, Will McDonald. I think they called number 70 for holding over the radio, like six
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
It
He got held so much.
was unreal. How many times they were pointing it out, and there were a lot that didn't get called, obviously, because you're not gonna call it every time, even though
No,
you can.
Yeah,
But I know there was a lot of times that they were calling it over the radio.
yeah.
But yeah, Gary Vaughn had another tremendous game stepping in
He did.
for Orion
What
Vance.
year is he a junior?
Let me check. Gary Vaughn is a junior, so should have him back next year too.
Good.
Another guy that was kind of all over the field. So were you able to watch the game?
I watched most of the first half, and then
Okay.
I fell asleep.
So
Then I watched the highlights and stuff.
yeah, so obviously it was a 9:30 kick,
Yeah.
which I wrote about it in the postmortem. There was a lot of people that didn't like that it was a 9:30 kick.
I didn't, and then Utah and San Diego State went to
overtime. And it was just
triple
late.
overtime.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Another guy that they were talking about a lot on the radio that was just flying around, Kimani King.
Yeah.
It sounded like they were saying. I mean, there was that targeting call that I guess got reverted.
Yeah.
That I think was him. I didn't actually see it at all because I couldn't find any of the highlights anywhere. It kind of sounded like even John Walters and Eric Heft were kind of like, yeah, maybe that's targeting. But I guess there was 2 calls in that game. Both of them got overturned, so they got to stay in the game, which I am all for, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
I
don't think
always
targeting's
err
injection.
err on the side of not ejecting kids from games.
Yeah. 100%.
But yeah, it sounded like Kimani King had a great game.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, heard the same thing.
So love to see that.
Which is nice. Love to see that.
Love to see that.
Yeah, nice.
It was funny. I was trying to find something that went wrong to write in the postmortem, and I couldn't even result to the default special teams, because Mevis buried a 54-yarder.
Yeah, he did. I mean, that was a boo.
And Corey Dunn only
but
punted one time.
Yeah.
So like I couldn't even default to. I guess there was a kickoff out of bounds that I actually did mention, but like there. 54. We made a 54-yarder.
I know.
It wasn't against us.
I think the last time they said that happened was like 2004.
Oh God, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's
yes, I know.
God. Granted, it was indoors, right? So there's no real wind or anything. But just to see one go in
from 54.
From 54.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was good. And we held UNLV. They were a combined 10 of 19 throwing. We talked about Tate Martell a little bit in the preview. I thought they were just going to roll with him for most of the game.
So did I. I thought he'd just get thrown in there.
But it sounds like Cameron Friel. Cameron Friel, is that his name? Friel?
Yeah.
Sounds like he played most of the game.
Yeah.
But we didn't really let him do anything.
No, this defense was locked down. They did exactly what they're supposed to do.
I think UNLV had here. Let me pull up the team stats here. UNLV had 130 total yards. I think like 70 of that was on one drive.
Yeah,
where they kicked
I know
the field
they
goal.
had a crazy low possession time in the first half.
Yeah,
crazy low. I don't remember exactly what it was,
right.
But I know it went up a little in the second half. But first half was, man. I think it was like 1 minute or something crazy like that.
Yeah,
like
I think it was. I'm trying to remember who tweeted it out, but somebody said that the second half of the Iowa game and the first half of the UNLV game, the defense gave up like 36 yards on 42 plays.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Oh, was that Alex Gukin? I don't know. I'll find the tweet and link it below.
Yeah. Here's a tweet. Time of possession at halftime. I would say 28-53 UNLV 102.
Oh my god.
They had 18 total yards, 4 passing, 14 rushing, 2 first down, 3 penalties, 1 turnover, 2 sacks allowed, I assume, and 18 total plays.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like we expected this. Like I don't think either, like we both had UNLV scoring 10 and we both had us like in the 30s. Yeah. We expected it to be like a good game for us, but I don't think we were expecting this.
No, 1 minute of possession time, and that's just insane.
Yeah. And you know, we've highlighted it, like all the players that stood out. Brock was great. Got him out of the pocket, got him on the run a little bit more. Breece Hall had a really nice, just a really solid game from him, being able to control the tempo. The receivers getting on the board, everybody. I mean, it was just fun.
It was a nice momentum.
Yeah.
Get shit done game.
Exactly. So Iowa State over UNLV 48-3, and that is just what the doctor ordered, because conference play starts with a team that I don't think either of us really expected this out of.
No.
We had talked a little bit in the preview to the season that Baylor would be relying a lot on their running backs early in the season while they figure out this quarterback situation. But they've got 2 guys over 300 yards apiece.
Yeah.
They got 2 guys averaging over 100 yards a game. In Smith and Ebner. So with a 3-man defensive front, TMB, how do we stop that?
Man, I say you got to commit to the run, because if you make them throw, they're not going to be comfortable. Send the pressure you have to. Stop Ebner and Smith, and the rest of the game will fall in your hands. I don't trust their quarterback to win the game. Force him to. If they are going to beat us, force it to be the quarterback, not the running backs, because the running backs will beat anyone.
Right.
If you let them. The quarterback, not so confident in. Ebner's a stud. Obviously, Smith is over 300 too, so sell out the run, make their quarterback beat you.
Because they've been going with Bohannon.
Yes.
I really thought Zeno would have won that job.
I did too.
So
I did.
I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't watched a Baylor game this season.
Neither have I.
But it looks like receiving, it's RJ Sneed.
Yep.
Who I believe is just their best receiver. And then Tyquan Thornton is the only other guy over 100 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's those 2 guys really.
So if you make their receivers and quarterback step up, I feel like we are a good enough team to beat them.
And I like, man, Anthony Johnson has just he is such a good CB1 for us.
Yeah, he is.
So I'll definitely be watching that Sneed Johnson matchup.
Yeah.
Just because this will be his first real challenge of the year.
Yep.
You know, nothing against the number 5 team in the country right now, but Iowa doesn't exactly throw the ball.
No, not well, at least.
Yeah, so not that Baylor throws it particularly well either. But RJ Sneed, you know, he's a guy.
I mean, you can't, if you leave, I mean, you better watch out for him.
Yeah.
He's not the number 1. He's not Chris Olave or John Mechie, but I mean, yeah, you got to watch out for him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I haven't, like I said, I haven't really watched much of Baylor. Do they have much of a defense this year?
I believe it is better than last year. I know Dave Arnado is a defensive guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not tired. I mean, I know they haven't played much of a competition, but they are not letting up very many points right now.
Oh yeah, 11 points a game.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
They beat Texas State 29-20, but then they beat Texas Southern 66-11.
Okay.
Then they beat Kansas 45-7. So just that Texas State game really. And then they let up more than 7 was the only game.
Yeah.
So obviously we're much, much better than all those teams, but
Right.
still got to
It's
execute on
it's
offense.
definitely not a team to look past.
No, it's
Because
not.
if you try to look past this Baylor team, they're gonna get you.
Yeah, they are.
And I
And
mean,
we almost saw that last year.
exactly. Especially if Brock throws 3 picks in the first half, I don't think
We're
we're
losing.
gonna win this game.
No, we're not winning the game.
If Brock gives Baylor a short field 3 times with that running game, I don't
We'll
see
do
us
this.
winning.
No, I completely agree.
So
So that makes me think we are going to try to. I think Campbell and Manning know that. So establish a run game early. Don't let Baylor have the ball.
yeah,
Shut down their run. Make their quarterback beat you.
right. I sorry, I'm just looking at the team stats here.
You're good.
Um, it looks like they. I mean, yeah, it's kind of hard to judge because the only even like team that they've played is Kansas, and
Yeah.
that's not much
And it
of
was
anything.
14-7 at halftime.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, they're just not allowing anything. So
No,
this
I
should be.
believe.
I mean, looking at it from the Baylor side, this is a real turning point for you as a team.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
especially this season, just looking at their
Yep.
schedule here. Um,
You go out and beat Iowa State, you got one hell of a chance to be good.
they basically just have even their non-conference game is BYU, so that's even a conference game.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but I mean, you play Iowa State, and then you get Oklahoma State, West Virginia, BYU. If you can upset Iowa State, you're looking at 2-0 in the conference through 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that's better than you can hope for.
this is your early season just statement if you're
Yep.
Baylor, and especially with this game being in Waco. I mean, I hate that place,
Th-
but
This was our West Virginia in 2017.
oh, for sure, absolutely it is. Absolutely it is.
We got to know that coming in. Don't let them do what we did to West Virginia.
Exactly. I think
And
I trust Campbell in them enough to not let that happen.
yeah, I agree.
But this is really, I mean, Iowa was definitely this way too, and we saw what Brock did against Iowa. He can't do that.
No,
He can't do that. I mean, I say this as someone that defended him in the Iowa game, but he can't
yeah,
do that. He can't do that again.
it's got to change.
And I mean,
So can't turn the ball over.
no,
And Brees too. As
right,
much as I love him, can't fumble
right,
on the 5.
right. This is a tough one for me to predict because I going through the Iowa State like season earlier in the year, I had us beating Baylor and I had us doing so fairly convincingly. But granted, they haven't played anybody, but I don't think it's wrong to say that Baylor's look better than us.
No, I don't. I don't
I mean,
either.
that's we
I
struggled against
think.
UNI. Granted, they
Yeah.
struggled against Texas State week 1 because it's week 1.
Yep.
But then they've just smashed Texas Southern and Kansas. And
Yep.
granted, Iowa would probably do the exact same thing to both of those teams. But we lost to Iowa. So,
Yep.
um,
We haven't played a good offense, but our run defense is so damn good.
yeah, I
Um,
mean, and they
I don't
stopped
think.
Tyler Goodwin.
Yeah. Ashton Kutcher,
God.
diehard fan, obviously.
Yeah, yeah, obviously. But yeah,
Yeah.
we stopped the Iowa run game for the most part, and
We really made their offensive line look like. I mean, we got penetration and
yeah, obviously
all day.
they have Linderbaum in the middle.
Yep.
But I don't like Baylor doesn't have anybody that's Linderbaum,
No.
so
It does. Credit to Iowa for him. I mean,
fair enough, fair enough.
that dude is an animal.
That God, what a athletic
That's
specimen.
man. Yeah. He
Um,
is.
but yeah, I don't know what do you think for a score on this one? I don't.
I think, man, I don't. For some reason, I'm feeling like a 35-14.
You're
I just
confident.
don't. I am, and the spread is only 7, and Vegas is probably smarter than I am, but I just don't see like. I don't. I mean, there's a quarterback competition for a reason, and it's not because they're both Heisman Trophy candidates.
Right.
I trust our run defense to stop Ebner and Smith. I don't see them getting anything going, and if they can't get anything going on the ground, I know they're not going to in the air. they don't have the quarterback or weapons to beat our defense that bad. Um, you saw what I'm not saying they aren't improved, but you saw what our offense did to their defense second half last year. Literally whatever they wanted the whole game.
Yeah.
And we blocked a punt.
Yeah, I was gonna say though, like we for as many mistakes as we made in the first half, we kind of made up for them in the second half,
Yeah.
and I think that really helped to how dominant we were.
Yeah.
But man, there's something about Baylor that gets me every damn year.
I don't know. I'm gonna roll with that, man. And I usually don't, but I just don't see, maybe I'm biased. I just don't
So
see Baylor competing.
so okay, so last year was the 3 turnover game that we
Yes.
came back and won. Then 2 years ago was the game at Baylor that we got down
Wow.
early and then came back, but then
Decided to
lost
come
on a
back. That was the tent. That was the tent game.
that was a tent game. Yeah, that was the game that we lost on the field goal late, right?
Yes. Five, yeah.
And then the year before that was that
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 was
that was the
Montgomery.
Montgomery year.
Yep, that was Montgomery.
Golly, man.
Butler, whatever you. Yeah. So yeah, we got some problems with Baylor. I think Matt Campbell and Rule hated each other. I'm not saying Arnott and Campbell do, but I mean, there's pictures of Rule and Campbell shaking hands, not even looking at each other.
Right.
So, I don't think Matt Campbell lets grudges go, and I think he is going to want to come in and steamroll Baylor.
Yeah, I just I don't I God, Vegas has us as 7, which normally wouldn't bug me, but it's at Waco. So that
Yeah,
makes me think that on like a neutral site, we're like a 13-point favorite.
yeah,
And that just scares me cuz we like okay, so we're kind of in that predicament where we're the favorite now. And
yep.
I hate using that as
Almost
like
every
a
game.
scapegoat that we're not used to being here, but I see it happen so often that you have to
Yes,
learn to win. And I feel like last year was kind of that first step into that learning to win situation
yep.
against teams like Oregon, against teams like Oklahoma. Like, we've competed against Oklahoma. Um
I
man,
can't believe they. I'll say this: we are now the team where we come in and they're like, "Oh, it's Iowa State. They're top 15. We're gonna sell out."
yeah.
We did it for West Virginia. We did it for Oklahoma. We are that team now, which is kind of crazy
We're
because we
the
never have
we're the
been.
hunted, not the
Yeah.
hunter,
Yep.
and
100.
everybody is going to give us their best game.
Yes.
So I
Oklahoma gets it. We're gonna get it, and we're gonna get
exactly.
Oklahoma's best game too.
Exactly. Okay, so you had 35-14.
Yes.
God, I really like that 7 number. I'm going to go like I think this will be a low scoring kind of ground and pound. It kind of feels like a game the first team to break one,
Yeah.
maybe.
That was Oklahoma State last year, probably,
Yeah.
and
I'm going to
without
go
them, just couldn't do it.
I'm going to go 24-17
Okay.
us. And I think Brees Hall breaks one before Ebner or Smith.
Okay. I
And
like that.
that's gonna kind of be that game defining play. Cuz I was
Brees will need
talking
to break one.
yeah, I was talking to a Vikings friend of mine about the Minnesota Arizona game on Sunday, and I was like, "Oh yeah,
Yep.
first defensive play is going to win the game."
Yep.
And then Minnesota got the pick six, and I was like, "Well, there it is." And then
Yep.
of course everyone knows Greg Joseph. God, is
You know what?
Minnesota
So,
is Minnesota ever going to find a kicker that can make one late?
well, they had one on their roster, Carlson, who's now the Raiders kicker, and hit a 55-yarder to tie it against the Ravens, who then beat the Chiefs. Um, was on the Vikings roster and they cut him. So I don't know if they need a special teams coach or what evaluation. It's crazy.
Yeah, but I mean that kind of felt like the same thing where it was like Minnesota got the first big defensive play, so
Yep.
it kind of felt like they were going to win and then they just didn't.
Yeah, they should
So
have.
I feel like this is kind of that same way where Iowa State's going to be the first team to kind of make the big play to turn the tide of the game.
Yeah.
I think Baylor is up 14-10 at half.
Okay.
And then we do that big thing where we don't give up points in the second half.
Yeah. Not very,
And then
very well said.
we're going to win like
I will say,
27-17 or something, or
if Baylor
24-17.
scores 14 in the first half, one of those touchdowns will be off a short field. I don't see our defense giving up two 75-yard touchdown drives. I don't disagree with the score prediction.
I think that's
I will say,
fair.
yeah.
It does seem like Haycock, like as dominant as his defense is, Haycock is definitely an adjustments guy.
Yeah.
He lets the defense kind of freelance at the first half, and then he goes into halftime and he's like, all right, here's what they're doing, here's how you beat it, go do it.
Yep.
And then the team is good enough to listen to him and be able to do it.
Yep.
So I don't necessarily disagree with that, but I do think if they were going to move the ball, it would be in the first half, and then Haycock's just going to be like, oh yeah, here's our magic potion to win the game, and then the defense goes out and drinks it.
Yep.
So
I completely agree.
If
Ebner and Smith are running on us, though, it could be a long game.
I'll go 24-17 us.
Okay.
And it's 14-10 at the half Baylor.
Okay.
And everybody's going to be talking on Twitter about how we're going to get upset. And then the defense is going to lock them up.
And that probably won't be the first time this year. We'll probably be down to someone like a West Virginia.
Oh, we'll be down to Kansas State at the end of the first quarter. It's just going to happen.
Yeah, it is.
We're going to be down to West Virginia. We'll be down to Oklahoma State. Like this, as much as I love this team, they like to get down early. And they like to play their seasons how they play their games, where they don't do anything for the first quarter. And then the second quarter they start to tighten it up, but they can't quite take the lead before the half. And then the second half they just don't give up any points and throw for like 200 yards and win by 10.
Everyone goes off.
Yeah. So I'll say this. Every single team would rather have us the first conference game than the last conference game.
Oh, 100%.
So if Baylor was going to get us, it's going to be this week. But like I said, I do think Breece Hall makes one more play. I think he breaks one just a little bit before Smith and Ebner can. So
and I do like starting October with Kansas, because not only is it October in Iowa State football, it's Kansas, so it's like perfect
exactly
tune-up. Like the start of Brocktober again. Do what you need to.
Yeah.
Dominate. Have you seen the stripe out thing going viral?
I have seen that on Twitter. I'll link that as well for any Iowa State fans looking to go to the Kansas game. Of course, we get Kansas in Jack Trice in prime time. And there's a Twitter I can't remember who tweeted it first, but there's a big Twitter motion to get Jack Trice striped.
Which I would love. I just don't know if we have the social media outreach to make it really good. We need email from Jamie Pollard.
See, I agree with you. There does need to be something from the school saying like, "Oh yeah, let's make it official." But I'll be honest, if there was ever a team with a social media platform that was going to get this done, I think it's Iowa State.
Yeah.
There is nobody that does internet polls better than Iowa State Twitter. Speaking of Iowa State Twitter, shout out to BYU Twitter.
They are
blowing up
I can't wait to have them in the conference.
Blowing up my tweet about Baylor or BYU shitting on the Pac-12. Appreciate that. But yeah, man, it just feels like everything's coming up Big 12 right now. Like, fuck Texas and Oklahoma. Everything's just kind of coming up Big 12 because the ACC sucks right now. The Pac-12 sucks right now. The SEC and the Big 10 are going to be the SEC and the Big 10. Not much you can do about that. But, they were talking, I've seen some places, could the Arizona schools come? Could Colorado come back? Could Utah come over here?
It'd be interesting.
It'll be something to keep an eye on, but that's maybe a topic for another episode. I don't really have anything else. This has been kind of a shorter episode.
Yeah, I don't have anything either.
So yeah, we got TMB and myself. We got a 35-14 victory, and then a 20. What did I say? 24-17. Yeah, 24-17. I think it just feels like a run first game, and
Yeah.
Maybe that means the first quarterback to throw a bomb opens this one up. And I still think Purdy, as much as he turns the ball over, I think Purdy is capable of making that play before.
I want to get Milton going. I want to.
Yeah,
open
no
up the
kidding.
field. Man,
Oh,
I don't know if we just are finding him or if he's struggling, but we are just not.
Real
He's not
quick.
getting the ball.
Real quick, I want to go back to UNLV for just one thing.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how awesome it was to have actual legitimate kick and punt returners?
Oh, I know.
It's like I get
I don't get why Hutchinson was back there in the
Oh
first
my
place.
god, that scared me every time. It scared me every fucking time.
Not only is he's a big physical, like, I'm gonna out physical you. He's not a shifty.
No.
I'm gonna run by you. On top of that, he's easily our wide receiver 1.
Exactly.
Like, why is he back there?
It scared me every time on the radio the first 2 games. Every time I saw 8 run back there. Yeah. I'm like, someone's gonna see that. Someone's gonna kick it short. Granted, in college you can call for the fair catch and it'll be a touchback anyway. But Hutchinson's a guy, he's gonna try to make the play.
Yeah.
And he's gonna get hurt. He's gonna get rattled. He's gonna get lit up on a kick return, and then we're gonna be wide receiver 1 down.
The team that cannot afford it.
So huge thank you to guys like Eli Sanders and forget who else, Jalen Knoll. Huge shout out to the freshmen stepping up. And
I would rather. So I love Jalen Knoll at kick returner because he's playing. I don't like keeping Sanders and Silas potentially returning because I don't want to burn their red shirts this year.
Yeah.
If we have to, fine, but I don't want to do it for special team. Knoll, he's already playing enough. Like, yeah, put him back there.
I think Silas will be able to redshirt.
Yeah, I don't know about Sanders.
I mean, it felt like he was kind of in the game just there late. And he had that nice touchdown run. And
they're going to be good. Him and Sanders.
Oh, he is. Cool. I tweeted about this Deion Silas kid. Oh my lord. Yeah. That is a short, quick. He's like a Kanena Wangu that'll punish you at the end of a run.
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
And this kid was not heavily recruited. Not surprising. Surprising he ended up at Iowa State and now looks like a stud.
Yeah.
But he was not a heavily recruited, from what I saw at least.
Shocking that Matt Campbell found a guy. I know, like world breaking news here. Matt Campbell found a guy, and he looks really good.
I know Sanders did have a little more attention, but he looks like a stud too.
Yeah, so I just keep Hutchinson away from special teams plays.
There's no reason.
Even Milton, like he hasn't had a great year so far, but like you want a guy that you want a guy that could stretch the defense. There he is. Don't throw him back there.
And he's also not good at punt returning.
Clearly not.
I don't know. His vision is off. He doesn't. Yeah, it's special teams nightmare. We could talk about it all day, but
yeah, no kidding.
Glad they finally made a change.
So, 35-14, 24-17 against Baylor. Drop your predictions down below. Again, a little bit shorter of an episode, not much. We were able to draw it out there a little bit at the end. Yeah. TMB, you got any closing words for us for the Baylor matchup?
Win. Don't go in there sleepy.
I like it.
They're going to be ready.
It's going to be another hot one, so be ready.
Yeah. So that's what that's it. Don't look past them because they will punish you.
Yeah. I guess for me, he's not going to see this, but I want to say congrats to Brock Purdy. 2 more school records. Yeah. The all-purpose yards and the passing yards. He surpassed Brett Meyer on Saturday on both of those. 27 school records now for number 15, Brock Purdy. He's a slow starter, but he'll burn you. He'll get you.
Yeah.
He'll get you. All right. That's going to do it for myself and Tom Manning's burner. Appreciate having him on every week to go over recaps and predictions. Iowa State a 48-3 winner over UNLV and taking on the Baylor Bears in Waco. Let us know what you thought down below about the blowout win, and if you think we will continue the momentum down in Waco. It'll be a hot one, so any Cyclone fans that are going, and honestly any Baylor fans that are going, make sure you drink plenty of water down there as we get ready to start conference play. Baylor, of course, started this past week against Kansas, but Iowa State starting conference play this Saturday. Let us know what you thought down below. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, click the like button, subscribe, and click that bell icon so you get notified whenever I go live, whenever there's a video uploaded on this channel. Thanks once again to TMB for joining us, and we will see you guys next time. Peace out.